Rio because I watched them as they were walking by here with signs. There's a lot of them here for Mike Brown, and of course they're ecstatic to have seen Mike Brown win that medal for Canada.
The Australians have won 3 in a row in the men's 4x200 free at the World Championships. And there come the Canadians, led by Brent Hayden, wearing the Montreal Canadiens sweaters. And that has been a hit, as it should be, and as you might expect, in the home of the Habs.
And it's something that the new national coach, Pierre Lafontaine, came up having grown up in Montreal. I think he knew that it would certainly get the fans on side, and it has.
Canadians will have lane 3. The U.S., a loaded team, led by Michael Phelps, will be in 4. Japan in 5. The Aussies looking for 3 in a row in 6. And there are the Italians, bronze in Athens.
And 3 of the 4 members of that Athens team are here, and their anchor man will be Filippo Magnini, the gold medalist from the 100-meter freestyle. So if Canada's going to have a chance, they're going to have to be ahead of them going into the anchor leg, probably. This is a surprise, the Greek team getting into the finals. They were 8th at the Olympic Games, really weren't that close to the top swimmers, but they've really improved over the last 12 months. Part of the big push, of course, in Greece when they were awarded the Olympic Games, their swim team went from almost non-existent to a good, powerful force on the international stage. Here's Canada. On the left is Rick Say, then Andrew Hurd, he'll be the anchor man. Young Colin Russell in his first international competition, and the final one, they've even got hockey sticks. And the final one is Brett Hayden, having the meet of his life already with several Canadian records. The powerful American team, this is the exact same quartet that surprised and upset the Australians and won the gold medal at the Olympic Games. Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte, Peter van der Kay, and Clint Keller. That's Phelps on the far right. He will be their leadoff swimmer. That's what he did at the Olympics. They will keep the exact same order. Interesting strategy by the American coaches. These boys know how to win with that order. Why change it? A huge surprise. Japan did not even have a team at the Olympic Games. Now they qualified second fastest. They'll be awarded lane number 5. These are swimmers that are not known, haven't been in the finals, other than Matsuda, their anchor person, 21 years of age. He's already won a medal in the butterfly in this competition. This is the Australians' -1 very important individual. Ian Thorpe has chosen not to come to this competition to get ready for the Commonwealth Games next winter. The Aussies are a little bit weaker without him, but don't count them out in the run for the medals, because they've got the great Grant Hackett on the far right. There he is, right there. Their captain and world-class athlete on the anchor. The Germans will have lane number 7. Stefan Herbst is definitely the most experienced member of their quartet. They were 6th at the Olympic Games in this event, just behind Canada. They'll be down in lane number 7. Canada's going to be way up over in lane number 3. The final member of the final, the Russians were not in the finals last year at the Olympic Games. Of course, they don't have some of their veterans like Alexander Popov anymore, but Kapralov is certainly the most experienced that they have.
The Canadian team, Brent Hayden will lead off. Colin Russell comes in second. Rick Say third. And on the anchor leg will be Andrew Hurd.
And that's Brent Hayden getting ready. Andrew Hurd behind there, jumping up and down with the sweater. He'll be the anchor man. Colin Russell's off to the left, his first international competition. He had a great split in the morning prelims to advance Canada to the final.
Canadians were 5th in Athens, 5th at the 2003 World Championships, and 6th in this event at the 01 Worlds in Japan. Canada in 3, the U.S. in 4, Japan in 5, Australia in 6. The Aussies won 3 in a row, trying to make it 4 in a row. Can they do it tonight in the final of the men's 4x200-meter freestyle?
Well, interesting what Canada's done. You have many different types of strategies that you can use. Canada's chosen to go power right up on the front. One of those reasons is Rick Say has been a little bit off form. Normally you might want to lead Rick Say, but they haven't. They've chosen to instead put Brent Hayden on the front end. This didn't work in the Olympics, but I think it's going to work here to get Canada in the race early, and that's it.
U.S., Canada, and Australia, 1, 2, 3 right now.
And the Australians have chosen to put their second fastest guy first, which is almost sort of textbook. You put your best guy on the end and your second fastest guy first, whereas Canada's sort of upset the apple cart, as have the Americans, with Phelps, their best guy, going first.
Now, this is what Phelps is expected to do every time he gets into the water in a relay, give the Americans the lead. And Phelps has less than 100 meters to go now in his portion of the men's 4x200. Brent Hayden swimming alongside Phelps has Canada in second place. The Aussies are in third with Springer in the water.
Well, and Brent Hayden's job is obviously to stay as close to Michael Phelps as he possibly can. Phelps is almost just too far ahead now Brent to get any draft off of him, an advantage. But he's got to keep Canada ahead. Italy is the main rival. They're up in lane number 1 for Canada, and of course the Australians.
And it's Brambilla who is in the water for the Italians, but nobody is touching Phelps right now. He has a clear lead for the Americans.
Hayden is not backing down. He's still right there at his feet, but here comes the Australian down in lane number 6. Here he comes in the yellow cap, and the Italian Brambilla up in lane number 1. They're both closing slightly on Canada.
Colin Russell will come in for the Canadians. Ryan Lochte is now in the water for the Americans, and Murphy comes in for the Aussies.
Colin Russell swimming for Canada at this point. His mother, Erin Corcoran, was a national champion in the sprints. He doesn't really like the sprints. He's gone up a little bit higher into the 200-meter and the 400-meter distance. His secret is to try to keep Canada ahead of Italy, if he can possibly do that, and the Australians.
Ryan Lochte has the U.S. in the lead thanks to Michael Phelps. Canada sitting in second place. The Australians are in third. Russell in the water for Canada, and Murphy swimming for the Aussies.
And the Aussies have got Pat Murphy, 21 years of age. He's out of Melbourne, but he did do a lot of his formative training, if you can believe it, in Fiji, and now he's in Australia. The Italians up in lane number 2 have their unknown swimmer that didn't swim last year. If he doesn't swim a great leg, it may be good for the Canadian team.
Ryan Lochte has the U.S. in the lead. Canada sitting second. The Aussies are third, but the Aussies are making a bit of a move with Murphy.
Murphy went very fast, sometimes in a relay, and Murphy is inexperienced. You get a little overexcited and you go too hard the first 50. Murphy caught Colin Russell from Canada, but Russell was going control.